I got the medicine.
Well, first of all, hope everybody had a lovely Father's Day. I think David spent his drinking alone in his garage. Because I'll tell you, David has all the energy of an elk fart today. I mean, it's going to be an exciting day for the callers. David, are you okay?
Oh, I'm great.
All
right. I'm good.
When I go, David, where the hell are you? And you say in this sullen, like, I've been awake for 3 days.
It feels like it.
I'm like Nicolas Cage and Leaving Las Vegas, and you're like, I clock in at 2. I'm like, wait, what? You're going to make it today?
I'm going to make it today. Yeah, I'm good.
All right, excellent. I also didn't appreciate that remark about the Celtics. We'll get to that later. We have a lot to do today, and hopefully people got a little more energy after Father's Day than Hatchet does. It must have been an active day for him. I want to start with something, and I'm asking you guys for a little bit of help. And it's a big week, and we're going to mix in some NBA stuff. We're going to do an NBA fast break at 3:30. Draft-related issues. I think there's big news in the league, and it relates to the Pistons. And 2 things happened. The Paul George stuff, the Celtics trade, okay, that relates to the Pistons. And you go, well, how? I'll explain. And then on the NHL side of things, you have the expansion draft coming up Wednesday. Teams release their lists. And a lot of people, and I want to choose my words carefully, are puzzled, to say the least, by some of the things that Kenny Holland did. And you go, well, how do you relate these two? Let me explain. When I look at the Pistons and I look at the Wings, they are essentially the same team, okay? They are the same team that now plays in the same arena that has the same bleak future. And by bleak, I mean they have no future. And that's not necessarily news. But what is news is the following. You have 2 general managers, and I refuse to acknowledge Jeff Bauer as the general manager of the Pistons. For the purpose of our argument, Stan Van makes all basketball decisions. You have Van Gundy and you have Holland. And even though they're different sports and there are different ways of doing business, you got 2 guys that both on the record have said they're not into rebuilding. They're not into tanking. They're trying to win right now. And when you look at what the Wings did, I was talking with the Birchie kid out there who's hockey's his favorite sport of all. And even a fringe hockey guy like myself, I go, well, why did you protect a guy like Nyquist? Why did you protect the Kaiser? Why did you protect Abdelkader? Vegas probably isn't taking those guys anyways, but it allows you to keep some of your younger players. Like people really like that defenseman Ouellette. Okay, fine. I don't know anything about him. My point is, why would you lose young and cheap over old and expensive? A lot of people upset with what the Wings did with Jimmy Howard. Why would you protect Jimmy Howard? Vegas isn't going to take him, and they're probably not taking Mrazek. What it does, though, is you've taken another spot away from someone else. Now, yes, everyone needed to protect at least a goalie. The point I make is Kenny Holland, with his expansion list, has flat told you, I'm not interested in rebuilding at all. And when you go to the NBA side of things and you look at what's happening and you look at Paul George and you look at Jimmy Butler and you look at all the things taking place, Celtics with their big move, I want to ask you guys a question. And whether you're a Piston fan or a Wings fan, it's the same question. Why does your respective team refuse to join us in reality? Look, like why would, for instance, the Pistons venture into luxury tax territory when they have absolutely no chance of finishing top 4 in the East? None. Celtics are going to be stronger. I think the Cavs will get stronger with Paul George. I think the Wizards will get stronger. You have no chance. But you keep plugging on. The Wings, it's the same deal. Kenny Holland has gone on record. I will not make any side deals to shed payroll. Vegas can do a number of wacky things, just like the Thrashers did back in '99. You can make a side deal. Hey, take this guy off my hands. I'll give you a little sugar. Kenny Holland has said it. I'm not doing any side deals. He also left some, younger players unprotected. I'm not saying any of those guys are stars. They're not. but he chose to protect wacky players. Like, why protect Abdelkader? That's not a personal shot at Abdelkader in any way, shape, or form, but he's paid through 2024. Why would you protect him? No one's taking him. And if they did, well, God bless. Get off the payroll. But what it is two general managers in two leagues that your respective team has no chance and no future, but they refuse to admit that. So I'm asking you, why are they doing what they're doing? If I'm a general manager in another city and it's not a place like, I don't want to name the 6 to 8 places where I think you could still justify, stay on the track, get better, try. My point is, if you're in those other 20 places, it's about rebuilding, but not with the Pistons. In the NHL, I would argue it's a little bit different. You can make it as an 8 seed, as a wild card, but there's still a solid 15 places, 12 places where you don't have a chance. But the Wings keep on plugging along. I didn't want to introduce this as just Ken Holland expansion talk. It's boring. Nobody likes Ken Holland. Nobody likes what he does. That's boring to me. I'm asking, in this blended deal with the Pistons and the Wings, you run the team. What do you do? Like, what move do you make? Because it's clear both of these guys refuse to make any move as it would pertain to making a better tomorrow. And both guys, we had Stan on the show, and he said as much. They're trying to win. I think he's crazy. I said that day. Ken Holland, I think Ken has, I would say he's lost his mind, but that would be a statement that would have held true 3, 4, 5 years ago. Whether you disagree with who's protected and who's not, whether you disagree with whether he'll make a side deal or not, what exactly is the future of the two teams that are going to share Little Caesars Arena? Because I say there is none. And after the newness of the arena wears off in year 1, maybe year 2, we're right back to square one. I want to throw the number out, though. I want to see where people are at with it. Big news day in the NHL, certainly. People pouring over the lists. Big news day in the NBA. And as it relates to two proud organizations in this town, two organizations that have won championships, multiply, have had dynasties, multiple. These two teams seemingly don't reside in reality. So my question is, what do you do? And as fans, does this basically, and I think I know the answer, as fans, I think it drives you to a point where you stop caring. And that cannot happen in the business of sports. 248-539-9797. Your ticket text 97136. We'll get the NBA Fast Break at 3:30. We got a lot of stuff today. Sully had a hell of a topic from the weekend, and I want to bring it back. And it involves an unbelievable player that you never should have let leave town, and kind of this idea that nobody talks about it. We'll get into that as well. We got a busy day. A lot of good stuff. And I will listen to David at some point. David is back there crucifying Danny Ainge. And I don't understand why, quite